Hello. It's been ages since I've updated anything, and there's been developments. So I finally gave in and bought a 3D printer because I've been working on this, which is a Northern Ireland Railways 80 class. So it's their thumper, similar to the British ones, except it has a kind of stylized front face. I suppose we weren't getting any high-speed trains, so we still need a pointy-nosed train. So I've been working turning that into a 3D model for quite some time, and it kind of got to the point that I couldn't really progress any further because I needed to actually see how it would translate into printing, because obviously you can draw something in a computer and printing it in real life is difficult. So that brings me round to this. I get to blame the lovely Luke Towan, who did a review of a new Anycubic printer where he printed an entire sort of DMU carriage in one go. And I thought, that's kind of what I want to do, so I shall buy one. So I did. I will point out, that's the second print I ever did. The grill and the fan are the third, and that's the fourth. So the fact it's not perfect is very much due to my learning curve. So I had decided to make the little grill and stuff are actually separate pieces, because I reckon that trying to print that in it would be difficult. And in truth, I think that's air in through the radiator, air out, and then there's 4 grills on the side, which would be sort of air into the engine bay. They did kind of come out okay. What I ended up with is a lot of the supports that went up onto the gutter line were in contact with the body and then have not come away cleanly. And obviously I can't sand it without sanding off all the detail, so that's kind of a boob. The other side, equally marred, but we do have a little window, let's see if we zoom in a little bit. We do have little raised window frames. There's not too much print lining. And yeah, you can see the sort of detail on the grill there a bit better. So what I'll probably do is pop that grill out and do it as a separately printed piece next time, because it worked really well for the other one, so why not? I'm debating whether or not I try and do that for the doors as well, but I think it might leave the whole thing too open and unsupported. Excuse me. So I printed that one. I think I printed it sort of square at about that angle. So the only really pronounced lines are on the little front facet around the headlight. And then to try and clear the supports off the body side, I painted this one sort of rolled over a little bit. And it went horribly wrong. It did work. Obviously there was less supports on the top, but still a bit. And because I haven't hit them with the sander to get rid of some of it, the windowsills are nicely, or the window frames are nicely pronounced. Little internal vestibule door, and that totally failed, which is annoying because that was the one bit I wanted to see, because obviously that is a very complex curve. Back to my lovely Donor Mark II coach. These were all built out of Mark IIB carriages. So from the top, it's maybe slightly narrower, but I think that's just because their gutter's more pronounced. And overall, the actual roof line, the height and everything sits well. The curve, if I can get low enough, not really, is pretty accurate. So happy with all of that. The other thing, if I've got a picture of it, no, I don't. These things have a very pronounced sort of, they are noticeably tapered in at the top rather than parallel sides. And as I say, what we ended up with is supports going up onto the gutter, which then touch down here. So I might just try removing them and see. And if push comes to shove, I'll remove the gutter and put it on as a piece of plastic strip. That's the driving trailer, which conveniently Accurascale are doing a nice one. So that'll be fun. This is the chassis. I'm going to hopefully rest it all on. It's a Dapple bubble car. I've stripped off some of the fake engine details, left the sort of battery boxes and things. There really isn't very much because it's a thumper. Obviously, all the engine's in here. So underneath, I think there were just air tanks and fuel tanks, battery boxes. So not very much. And we'll try and see. But ultimately, if I get the body on that chassis, how it looks, I'll be quite happy. So here we are, hiding in the garage. So this is the printer. It's the Photon Mono M5S, which is just sort of recently released. What it's noticeable for is the Z plate, the Z axis self levels, which basically means that it can work out if the plate is parallel to the screen, and if not, there is actually adjustment in there to make that happen. Can I pick it up with one hand? Nope. Let's use two. So yeah, there's actually some electrical adjustment just to swing it parallel, which means that pretty much out of the box it was put screen protector on, pour resin in, put model in on USB and hit go. And certainly the test print that they suggested came out really nicely. The other thing is very few screws and adjustments up here, well, none, so it's really easy to clean. And then obviously little work mat just to protect my bench because I don't want it all stained in resin like this. Scraper. It did come with a mask. I happen to have a decent respirator, so using that. Gloves, again, came with some. I found marigolds are best. And then I've borrowed my track snippers to do some of the pruning. Little funnel for getting rid of it. And a lot of blue roll. So yeah, that's that. Over here is the wash and cure. So it's print it, take it off the plate, wash it, remove some of the supports, then cure it under the UV, and then it's good to go. So yeah, we'll be having another bash in a little while. I'm going to tweak the model a bit now that I've seen how it's printed, and then we will try again, and hopefully we'll eventually get something that is one piece and looks right.